Alright, so what's good, y'all? Got the session up. This is the artist that I had mixed. His name is Jance. I'm gonna link him in the description. He's super dope. Y'all go get at him. Go check out the SoundCloud. He on Spotify, all of that. I'm gonna link him. Let's get started. Let's get right to it. So basically, alright, I got these lead vocals up, and I got nothing on them but a couple delays that I had already did while I was mixing, that I'm just leave on and show you how I did those. So let's go ahead and start from here. We're just gonna play it with nothing on it so you can hear how it sounds. No EQ, no compression. Alright, so you can tell. Alright, so the beat's playing. The beat's obviously way louder than his vocal. So the first thing I did, well, I actually mixed this vocal with two different sets of plugins. I have a UAD Apollo, the Universal Audio Apollo Twin. So I got the UAD plugins. That's what I ended up mixing it with, but I started with Waves. For all the people that got Waves, I'm basically gonna show you a quick Waves vocal chain, but this tutorial is really focused on mixing with UAD plugins. So, but we'll start with the Waves because I know most people got Waves. So, I'm gonna try to make this quick. The first thing I started with was the RVox. It's a good compressor. You can get it with, I think, the Waves Gold bundle. You know what I'm saying? And it just sounds good on everything. So, I'm gonna solo the vocal and just play it with the RVox on it.
On a prowler's going down, is you with me? You know my style, and you is picky. But I'ma be here for a while and you should hit me.
If you're listening with headphones or monitors, you should be able to hear what that's doing. It's subtle, but it's a light compression on it that's just kind of tightening it up a little bit. Then after that, I hit it with an EQ. I hit it with a Q8. I high-passed it. Just to get some of those lower frequencies, like all that muddy stuff out of there, you feel me? And then I did a little boost around 300. You know, it's weird because I usually cut around there, but it worked, you know what I'm saying? So the next thing I put on there from Waves was the Cla Vocals. Didn't really do too much with this plugin. I just really compressed it a little bit more with this, so just made it sound like this.
When I land in your city, on a prowler's going down, is you with me? You know my style, and you is picky. But I'ma be here for.
You know what I'm saying? So it's already bringing out the vocal a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? And then I use the SSL channel. This is like an EQ and a compressor all in one. It's just a channel strip basically. So yeah, I low passed once again just to get all of that rumble off or whatever, and then I boosted the highs to 5.8 at around 10K. I boosted a little bit in the high mids, and then I boosted a little bit in the low mids. You guys can see my settings, but I advise you not to copy my exact settings, you know what I'm saying? Play with it, just use your ear, because at the end of the day, whatever sounds good, you know what I'm saying? So what I do on his voice might not sound good for your voice. So every mix is different, basically. Then I put this Pultec EQ on here, real good EQ from Waves, and this brought us here.
In your city, on a prowler's going down, is you with me? You know my style, and you is.
So you see already the vocal is way stronger, you know what I'm saying? And it's starting to pop out a little bit. I'm gonna show you guys my settings on here. I'm not gonna go too in depth with the Waves because, like I said, this is really a UAD tutorial. So I ain't gonna go too in depth with that. But I boosted around 4 on the low frequency at 100, and then I attenuated it at around 2. So this EQ is weird. If you never use this EQ, well, it's not, I wouldn't say it's weird, but it's just like you're boosting and attenuating the same frequency at the same time, basically. You know what I'm saying? But it works and it sounds good. So it's like So check it out.
In your city, on a prowl, it's going down. Is you with me?
Alright, you know what I'm saying? The next plugin I used was the one knob fatter, and this plugin just works wonders. Like, it's just amazing because like you got a thin vocal, like it's gonna do just enough to make it thick but not like muddy, you know what I'm saying? You can really control it, and you don't really need much. Like you see, I didn't even use that much. It's around like 2. So check this out. I'm gonna play it without it first for a second, then I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna solo it so y'all can really hear it.
City, on a prowl, it's going down. Is you with me? You know my style, and you is picky. But
you see how I just warmed it up? Let me play it again. You see how I just warmed it up though and made it just a little bit thicker?
On a prowl, it's going down. Is you with me? You know my style, and you is picky. But I'ma be here for a while, and you should hit me.
Feel me? And I am using auto-tune on these vocals, but we gonna get to that later on. Then I use a C4. That was the next thing on my vocal chain. This right here, if you got it, you can get this in the Waves Gold Bundle 2, I believe. And it just, what it could do for a vocal is just crazy if you know how to use it. You know what I'm saying? So these are my settings on that, and I'm gonna let it play.
Prowl is going down. Is you with me? You know my style, and you is picky. But
I basically look at this plugin like a compressor / EQ, you know what I'm saying? So really, if you look at it how it works, I'm really just controlling around this frequency range. Like I'm compressing it, you know what I'm saying? So this is your low end and this is your high end, or I would say your mids and your high end, you know what I'm saying?
I'ma be here for a while, and you should hit me if you ain't busy.
Alright. Then we got the de-esser. That's the last thing I always put, because after you compress and do all these boosts in the high end on the EQ, you're gonna have S's and sibilants and all that going on. So you want to cut that out so it's not hard on the ear when you're listening to it. So after I add that de-esser, I got this.
Prowl is going down. Is you with me? You know my style, and you is picky. But I'ma be here for a while, and you should hit me.
So yeah, it's smooth. It's smooth. But that's it playing, you know what I'm saying, with just my vocal chain and what I did EQ and compression wise, basically. After that, I parallel compress, which even brings the vocal out even more. If you don't know about parallel compression or y'all want a tutorial on it, let me know in the comments. I'll do that ASAP. But yeah, I basically set up a bus track and put another compressor on there, and I'm basically feeding that compression to the main vocal. So this is what we get.
City, on a prowl, it's going down. Is you with me? You know my
dramatic
style,
difference.
And you is picky. But I'ma be here for a while, and you should hit me.
So if you're mixing with waves and you having trouble getting your vocals sounding strong, try parallel compression. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you tried 2 compressors and it just didn't sound right. Try parallel compression. It's gonna bring your vocal out way more. So this next plugin we got is a doubler, and I ain't even use this that much. I just use a little bit just to make the voice a little thicker.
City, on a prowl, it's
you can see I
going
barely
down.
use
Is
it.
you with me? You know my.
Then after that, I added my delays. And with the delays, you always want to make sure you get the BPM of the song. And in Logic, it's super easy to get the BPM. All you gotta do is go where your beat is, throw the BPM plug in, and then you should be able to go to BPM counter and then just hit stereo, and it's gonna come up right here. And when you play just the beat, solo the beat, see how fast it got the BPM, and it's literally like spot on every time for the most part. I don't even recall it ever not being right. You know what I'm saying? So it pretty much gets that. But you want to make sure you always do that as soon as you start your session, before you even start mixing or recording your artist, if you're an engineer, just so that you have it. Because if you change it after the fact up here, it's gonna mess up the vocals and slide everything. But yeah, we just hit about 10 minutes. I'm not trying to make this video super long. I told y'all I was gonna go through real fast on the waves. So I'm gonna show y'all the rest of the stuff I put on the main vocal for the waves, and then we're gonna get into what I did for the real mix on the UAD. And I actually might separate these videos. I might just make a waves portion of it and then do a UAD of it. I don't know. Alright, the last plugin I put on here was Reverb. Of course, you gotta have Reverb. So let me solo it so you can hear what it sounds like.
See if you about it when I land in your city. On a prowler's going down.
So
Is you with me?
So it's a nice sounding reverb. It's not too heavy. You know what I'm saying? He did tell me he kind of wanted like that Tory Lanez, Travis Scott feel to it, but he didn't want to like overdo the reverb and the auto tune and everything. So I didn't go too heavy on it. And as far as the auto tune, I usually place my auto tune right on the track. Sometimes if it's too many tracks, I might put it on my lead track with all the plugins going to the vocals. But this particular song was in F major, and he had a 3 for the retune speed. I mean, auto tune is simple. And then I humanized it 40%, you know what I'm saying, just to make it sound a little more natural. And I got that.
Land in your city, on a prowler's going down. Is you with me? You know my style, you know my style.
And let me actually skip to another part so y'all can hear this.
Well, here I am, drinking separate inside a fucking kid. About to leave from out of town up in a M. Then I'ma see if you about it when I land. Out of my weed, smoking on Tony, then we gon' roll more.
Alright. So that's pretty much it for the waves. If y'all really want an in-depth tutorial where I show y'all from start to finish how I made it sound like this with the waves plugins, just let me know. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the full mix, the real mix of the UAD mix. But first, I gotta let y'all hear the difference between waves and UAD. So, check this.
See if you about it when I land in your city. On a prowler's going down. Is you with me?
Ooh, I know y'all heard that. I know y'all heard that. You know what I'm saying? It's just way more life, and it's just smoother, and it's just better. I'm sorry. I love waves. I mix with waves all the time. But UAD, y'all got it. And I'm using, mind you, I'm using 3 plugins. 3 plugins. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to get y'all the sauce on using basically 3 plugins to get a professional rap vocal. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is buy an Apollo, you know what I'm saying, and get these plugins, and you're gonna be right. So, first plugin I used on this mix was the Manly Vox Box. This plugin, man, this plugin crazy. It's basically a channel strip with a preamp, a compressor, a de-esser, and a Pultec EQ built into it. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing I did was I switched the source from line to mic. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show y'all what that does. First, let me go ahead and make sure I got all these other stuff. Alright, disabled. Alright, so we gonna start from here. So it's basically just what I did on the Vox Box you about to hear.
In your city, on a prowler's going down. Is you with me? You know my style, you know my style.
So you can see it already sounds clean. It's just not all the way there. You know what I'm saying? But if I solo it, it sounds pretty good.
My style and you is picky.
It's just a little muddy and not EQ'd all the way. So what I do is I kind of just do a light version of everything with this first thing. So it's just like, this is like before I really mix it all the way. So what I'm doing is I switched it to mic, like I said. I high passed it all the way to 120 to get all the low end, all the muddiness, any of that out of the vocal. And then I played with this knob until it sounded right. I kept my gain at 50 and played with this knob. Like, you can find a sweet spot with this knob. Just playing with it and you'll get it. Then after I got the volume where I kind of wanted it, I messed with the compressor. I ended up going with a medium fast attack and a medium release. You know what I'm saying? So it's getting the vocal pretty fast, but not too fast, and it's holding it, but not holding it too long. Just kind of keeping it in like a good space. Then I de-essed it at at 9K, you know what I'm saying? And I de-essed it pretty hard. And the thing I love about this de-esser with the Vox box is it's like everything on this Vox box is not too harsh, or it's really kind of transparent. Like you can really push this compressor and you're not gonna hear it too much. You're not gonna get like pops. It's hard to get like pops and artifacts out of this compressor. It's really good. And then the EQ, I didn't mess with the low peak. I did a little mid dip at about 300, and then I did a high peak for some clarity at around 12K. You know what I'm saying? And the mid dip was the cut out that frequency because I didn't like the way it was sounding. Then after that, I went with a Pultec EQ to really polish up the vocal. And this is the Pultec EQ Pro Legacy, and all of these plugins come with the UAD Apollo. I'm telling y'all, man, get that Apollo. It'll change your whole workflow. So basically what I did was I boosted at 100 to 1, and then I attenuated at 100 to 3, and then I boosted my highs at 8 to 5.5, almost 6. Yeah, and then I attenuated it to 1. I didn't really mess with any of this up here because I already did a dip at like 300 on the other one, so I didn't need to mess with it. Also, another thing y'all gotta keep in mind when y'all EQing, only EQ until it sounds good. Don't over EQ, don't, you know what I'm saying? Just keep doing all of these boosts and all of these cuts and all of these, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't honestly take that much, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the quality of how the vocal was recorded, I know, but like, don't boost too much. So let me let y'all hear what this sound like.
On a prowl, it's going down. Is you with me? You know my style, and you is picky. But I'ma be here for a while, and you should hit me if you ain't busy.
So you know it's a solid vocal. And mind you, this is only two plugins I'm using so far on this vocal. You know what I'm saying? So the third and final plugin I use is another compressor. I just love the way this compressor sounds. It just gives the vocal a good tone and a warmness to it.
Land in your city, on a prowl, it's going down. Is you with me? You know my style, and you is picky. But I'ma be.
So yeah, and we got that. You know what I'm saying? Now we gotta add the sauce to the vocal. I'm gonna parallel compress again to bring it out some more.
I'll be here for a while, and you should hit me if you ain't busy. Before I turn this Pontiac into a Bentley. If you knew where I started at, then you was with me. You tell her take my autograph if you's a brick. Prowl is going down, is you with me? You know my style, and you is picky. But I'ma be here for a while, and you should hit me if you ain't busy. Before I turn this Pontiac into a Bentley. If you knew where I started at, then you was with me. You tell her take my autograph if you's a Britney. If you ain't praying for the fam, then you's against me.